Hi, my name's Indy.
And my name is Samantha.
Welcome to our first podcast of our current event series called News Weekly.
Today we are going to be talking about the national emergency Trump declared over the Mexican border wall.
We'll be interviewing kids and adults on their thoughts and feelings of this topic. Our goal is to get an overview of the real story. Our sources for today are BBC News and NBC News. To find our link, please go to our website, which is samanthaindy.wixsite.com/newsweekly.
Also, feel free to email us whenever for questions. Donald Trump declared a national emergency because he asked for $5.7 billion to fund his border wall, but he was only given $1.3, and that made him upset.
Today we'll be interviewing Sierra. She is 14 and goes to MLC.
Donald Trump has declared a national emergency over the Mexican border wall. How does this make you feel?
This makes me feel embarrassed to have him as our president.
Do you agree with Mr. Trump on having a border wall?
No, I do not.
Why?
I do not agree with him because I don't really see a point in making the wall.
So, you don't really, see a problem that they're, like a national emergency, kind of.
Yeah, also this country is meant to be a free country, and building walls is not making it very free.
For our second interviewer, we are interviewing Sydney. She's in 8th grade and goes to Da Vinci.
So what do you think about the national emergency Trump called? Do you agree with him or do you disagree with him?
I would disagree because I personally do not think that the wall should be built, just because I feel like we're all people, and if you have to put up a wall to divide us as people just because we look different, because we believe in something different, I think it's just a lot of waste of money when you could be putting that money to so many different things. You could, help a lot of different people out with
If he does build the wall, what do you think the consequences will be?
Just a lot of backlash.
How do you think the wall will help/not help the society/economy?
I think it's gonna bring up a lot of tension. Just even talking about it has. I feel like, just a lot of tension.
Do you think it will help or not help the economy?
I do not think it will help.
Thank you. For our third interviewer, we are interviewing our teacher, Miss Young.
My name is Megan Young, and I'm a teacher at Da Vinci.
How do you think the wall will help society or not help?
I don't believe that the wall will help society. I think that those of us that have more should share more, and that's our responsibility as people, that walls are kind of used to divide, and I think my goal is to bring people together.
If he does build the wall, what do you think the consequences will be?
I think there are some environmental consequences for animals and things that live in the regions, plants and things that need that freedom of movement to survive. I think that there are bigger consequences in what it says about us as a country and where we put our walls, who we keep ourselves from, and who we connect ourselves to.
Do you think it is fair for Trump to call the national emergency?
In my opinion, I don't see it as a national emergency. I see it as an ongoing crisis that we should deal with through Congress. I think that Congress needs to make those decisions, but I don't see it as something I personally define as an emergency.
Thank you.
For our fourth interviewer, we are interviewing our teacher, Miss Savage.
Hi there, my name is Miss Savage. I teach 7th and 8th grade social studies at Da Vinci Arts Middle School.
Okay, thank you. What are your thoughts and feelings of the border wall, and do you think it should happen?
I feel there are so many needs this country has that are greater priorities than a wall. We all know that the wall will not even prevent the problems that our president feels it will. And I think that We need to put our investments into our future, not on what we don't want to see happen, but what we do want to see happen with this country.
What do you think the consequences will be?
I just think financial costs are the biggest one, besides pissing off Mexico if they're not already all done with us.
Do you think it is fair for Donald Trump to declare the national emergency?
No, he's having a big adult temper tantrum right now.
Our last interviewer will be Hadley. She's in 7th grade and goes to Da Vinci Arts Middle School.
I'm Hadley Emerson, and I'm a 7th grader at Da Vinci Middle School.
Do you think it is fair for Trump to call the national emergency over the border wall?
I definitely don't think that a national emergency needs to be called for a border wall, because I don't think it's necessary to have a border wall, but also there's so many other things that you could call national emergencies on.
If he does build the wall, is there something bad that's going to happen?
I think definitely, like, people will get mad about it, and they will have protests and probably sue the government.
Okay, how would you handle this situation?
I would, if I was in his position, I would not be voting in the first place, but if I somehow would, I don't think it would be necessary to call national emergency.
Thanks for listening to the first podcast of our current events series. We hope you enjoyed and learned lots from our interviewers.
We hope that you will come back, and remember that we will try to get our podcast and our blog out every Sunday with our sources. Thank you for listening.